We're making a video today of a beautiful wall art for our backyard. If you haven't already seen my other video on my design that we did in our bedroom, we are actually going to be using the leftover 1x2s to create this beautiful art. And I have my family out here. Let's get started. Alright, and this is actually the inspiration piece. I saw this ad online for these Adirondack chairs, and what grabbed my attention was actually behind it. So the herringbone wall hanging is what we will be creating today. Now, I ended up using about 20 of these 1x2s for the whole pattern, and I always try to give myself like 10% extra in case I cut one wrong or mess up in some sort of way. I like to have a little bit extra. And again, these are really affordable, $1.28 for one from Lowe's or Home Depot, so it's super affordable. Now, I started off by laying them out on the grass just because I have like a larger space where I felt like I had more room to kind of play around with here. I had a little bit of trouble with the nail gun, I think just because it was the soft surface and my kids walking all over them. But basically step one is lay them all out and form your frame. Moving on to step two is the attachment of the center piece for the very center, and then your 3 side pieces, which are going to make up your 8 rectangle boxes. So that's 3 on 3. Now, I would say the most challenging part of this project is figuring out the angle that your pieces need to be in order to make the straight lines meet at the center point to create the herringbone pattern. For me, it ended up being 33 degrees, and this was based on trial and error of figuring out what the angle of those slanty pieces needed to be. So you can kind of see here, we tried a few different angles and that was the one that worked. But once you have that, everything goes a lot smoother. And also to note is that in order to make sure that your diagonal pieces form the straight line into the center to create the herringbone pattern, it's really important that your rectangle, 8 sections of your rectangle are the exact same width. And I ran into a problem here, even though it was only like 1/4 of an inch off on the width on some of them. My diagonal pieces were short, therefore not connecting, and I didn't want to have like an extra little 1/4 inch piece glued on, to form the long line. So when you're measuring, be sure to dry fit, and also be sure to not cut all of your diagonal pieces at once with all your wood, because if this happens to you, then you're going to have to go back to Lowe's and get more wood because a lot of them are shorter than you need or whatever. So I looked out and cut a bunch, about half, and they fit, but the rest of them were either too short or too long. So I kind of had to, take my time, making sure that they fit. Now, I will say that using this nail gun upside down ended up working actually pretty brilliantly. If it's not working out for you, if some of the pieces are loose, don't worry, because that's actually where your braces are going to come in. So it'll do the work for you. Okay, so this step is really important. I really just want to point out, of course we're putting on the braces now toward the end, but how you are going to place your diagonal pieces matters. So looking at the picture, there's going to be 3 diagonal pieces per rectangle, not including the edge pieces. So what that means is rather than mark your wood, your long rectangle piece, and calculate the spacing for each single one, see, making a mark 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Don't do that. So what you're gonna do is take your end piece from the corner and place it on your wood right there. And from there, line up the other one to make the longest line. So start on your corners, put them there, and once you have your corner, you'll see that one matches up. Boom, there it is. And you don't need to make a mark on your long rectangle pieces every single time to make sure that it's precise. If you get your angles right, this will create the herringbone pattern. Now, once you have all those down, this is just my husband using the L-shaped or corner braces on the back there and screwing those in. I tried to unsuccessfully use a staple gun thinking that would hold it. That was a terrible idea, so definitely don't do that. But the middle part of your project is probably going to be the most delicate, so we kind of went a little bit skimpy on the braces. I think that we could have probably got, maybe 4 packs instead of 2 packs, which contains 6. Would have been better off, of course, the more the merrier, but we were trying to do this, on a little more budget friendly. But definitely securing that in the center point is probably the most important part. So at this point, we're on to step 6. I went ahead and leaned my project against the wall that it was going on, and using the grittiest sandpaper all the way to the finest, I went over each nook and cranny, tried my best to get into the corners, and smoothed it out to prep it for staining. All right, and then once the whole thing is sanded, you can honestly lean this up against a wall if you don't want to screw it in. It's definitely more movable that way. We decided to screw it in, and I ended up going back to Lowe's to get a different stain. I was being OCD with that and really just couldn't make up my mind. I ended up doing 2 coats of an oak stain finish. And I bought the bigger can. I really did not need that. I had so much left over, so I probably would have saved a little bit more money too had I just chosen the small one. This is a picture of the stain I ended up using. Now, silly me, I didn't get any video of me staining it. I don't know why, just kind of blanked on that, but here is the finished product. And it looks amazing. I love the contrast on the back of our wall. I am super happy with the color of the stain. It is dark, it is rich, it is exactly what I wanted. It totally stands out day or nighttime. And after we hung this on the wall using those construction screws, we just did 4 in the corners there, pre-drilling the holes and using a level. Honestly, this was just totally doable and easy, and one of my best projects that I truly am, really proud of. And if you change the pattern on this could be a privacy wall. This could be done on a smaller scale as, an accent wall in your bedroom and any room in your house. So I would definitely recommend giving this a shot. Thank you so much, you guys. Again, as always, have an awesome day. Thank you.